Hello, Facebook. As most of you know, I've been upgrading our church drum kit from a Roland TD3, which is about 20 years old, to a more modern TD6V, even though that one's not very modern, but it's about 10 years newer than the TD3. But part of the goal was not only to have better sounds, which the TD6V does. It has over 1,024 sounds. But it was also to make the kit feel more like a regular size drum kit, for one. Because as you know, those older drum kits just feel really tiny. Even though they had decent sounds, the physical size of the drums was not good. And it just, for a drummer like me, I love playing my Slingerlands at home, but in a church situation, it's not practical, especially in a small room like this. I don't know if you've ever seen our worship center, but this is it here. It seats a maximum of 140 people, but an acoustic kit is just way overpowering for this little building. So it was hard to control the sound, and so we went with the electronic kit. Now, that being said, I've made some upgrades, and I can show you those, which there's other videos that explain all this, but let me show you what we've done so far. Okay, so the first step was to get rid of the rubber snare. And we installed this Pearl acoustic snare. Not sure, let me see if I can focus on here. But it's no longer functions as an acoustic snare. Let me turn the module off for a second, or turn the volume down. It is an electronic snare in which I put a electronic trigger inside of it, and you might be able to see it. But look at some of the previous videos, you'll see. And then it basically has no bottom head. So there's no need to have a regular bottom head, because the sound is not coming from the drum anymore. This is a 2-ply mesh head made by Dolby Drums. You can find those on eBay. So that was like phase one, and that was incredible because now you have a regular 14-inch size drum here. That's cool. And then the second thing I did was we went with this TD6V module. And part of the reason is that I saw a video on YouTube where a guy had this particular module and loved it. All the sounds that he was getting out of it sounded really good. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on that. It was a used one, and on eBay it was maybe, I don't even know if it was $100, honestly. But you get all the individual inputs like you did on the TD3, which is kind of nice. So it was plug and play here. So that was step number 2. Now, phase 3, I wanted to get a full-size kick drum, because this is the original kick that the TD3 had. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot of beef to it, but it served its purpose. So here's what we replaced it with. We replaced it with the Pearl 22-inch kick drum that was actually mated with the snare drum. And let me show you how we did that. Okay, again, we had to replace the head here. This is a mesh head. It's a Remo, what's it called? Ooh. Can't quite make out the name. But it's a Remo mesh head made for drummers that live in apartments and things where noise is a problem. And so I replaced the original batter head, and then I bought this little kick pad here so it doesn't tear the head up. And they say if you're going to use a mesh head, you should always have a kick pad. And then we use the felt beater. Let's see if you can see that. That came with the pedal. Okay. And then there's no blankets or pillows inside. And I still have the original front head. And here's what it sounds like without the electronics turned on. It barely makes any noise at all. I'm sorry for the lack of video skills here. Oh, I forgot to mention this, but in order to prepare the TD3 kit for the larger bass drum head, I had to buy these Gibraltar extended rack poles or piping. These are 3-foot curved pipes, and they fit right into the roll-in brackets. And most of the electronic drums all have the 1.5 inch piping, so it's not usually a problem to convert it. But I bought 2 of them and then raised them up, so as you can see, it clears the bass drum. Okay. Now, how am I getting electronics from this bass drum? Well, I decided to go with this. It's the Roland RT30K trigger. And all it is, if I can get a close-up here, it's right here. And it clamps right to the rim of your drum. And it has a little pickup right here. I'm not sure if you can, probably can't see that. But anyway, it has an electronic pickup in it. And it came with a new cord. And it just plugs right into the kick port of the TD6V. Now, it doesn't change the sound of the kick drums. That's one thing people think when you convert acoustic to electronic, is that it's going to change the sound. It's not, because the sounds are coming from the brain, the drum brain. So let me turn the volume back up here. So not sure if the microphone of the phone will pick it up, but here's the new kick drum with the roll-in trigger. Sounds just like a kick drum. Okay, so I'm gonna play a little bit, and hopefully you can see how well this thing has been working out for us. Kind of hard to play along with that without the internal drums, but you get the idea. Anyway, here's a little sampling of the drum kit now with all the mods that I've made, right? Still got the snare, sounds good. Then you have the rim click. And of course, kick drum, sounds good. And then the toms. next on the list of things to replace. Oh, and I forgot to mention the hi-hat was new as well. Kind of have a sort of a real hi-hat. Here's the old crash. It is a 2-zone crash, so if you hit the middle, it's one sound and the edge is another sound. And then the other crash here. And the rim I have set up as a China. And then the additional pad that we gained from the snare drum is now a ride cymbal. So there you have it. Those are the updates so far. Like I said, we have a cymbal coming in soon. It's a lemon, and I think it's a 16-inch or 17-inch. Can't remember which one we ordered. But that'll replace the little cheapy roll-in ones, which are okay, but the lemons definitely feel more like a regular cymbal. And then we'll replace the second crash eventually. And then maybe get a larger ride cymbal so that all the cymbals will be cymbal-like. And also, all the sounds you're hearing are coming from this Roland. Yeah, let's see if we can see it. It's just a little Roland keyboard amp, but they make some good stuff. They really do. Like, we've been playing this kit through this small 10-inch subwoofer for a couple years now, and it's never damaged it. It's a good little amp. Iron Cobra bass drum pedal. Also, I'd like to see how this sounds with a double bass pedal eventually, but for now, the single is fine. We have a Ludwig hi-hat stand that I just happen to have lying around the house that wasn't being used. And then, like I said, the Roland hi-hat. So anyway, let me know what you think. I know the sounds probably won't be good because I'm just picking it up through the iPhone. But yeah, leave some comments out there and let me know what you think. See ya. And thanks for the new members of the group. We appreciate it. Go ahead and start putting some content out there. I want to hear what you guys are doing. See you later.